Let's look at question 7 this time. The first thing it's asking us to do is factorize the initial expression. So x squared minus 50x plus 609. Now, you're going to need to check for some factors, right? So we've got some options. The first thing I'm going to know for sure is that they're both negative. So they have to add to negative 50 and multiply to positive 609. So I know they're both negative numbers. Now, I'm going to find numbers that add to 50, right? So I'm going to try a few numbers that are close to 50. So I might try, I'm going to try numbers in the middle. So I might try 25 and 25, although I know that's not going to multiply to 609. So I'm going to try some numbers around that, like 22 and 28, blah, blah, blah. And I've done some of those tests, and I found that my two numbers are 21 and 29. They add to 50 or negative 50 as the case is, and they multiply to positive 609. Now we're going to need this later, so we'll just keep it there. Part B is asking us to solve the equation 2x squared minus 100x plus 1218. Now, hopefully you recognize this is simply double that, right? So what I'm going to do is rewrite it because we've already solved this. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite it. So now it looks like the top thing. And now I can do what we did in part A. And now, if I want to solve this equation, well, first of all, they told us it equals 0, didn't they? So let's write that. So remember, for this to be true, for any equation to equal 0, one of these two brackets must equal 0 because anything times 0 is 0. So for this to equal 0, x has to be 21 because 21 minus 21 is 0. Same for here. 29 minus 29 is 0. So my two possible x solutions are 21 and 29. Now, when we get to part C, we start looking at some fencing. So we have 3 layers of fence. He's got 100 meters of fence. This side is x, this side is something, and this side is x. So if we want to know how much fencing we have altogether, what is this length? Well, isn't it going to be 100 minus 2x? I've got 100 all up, and this is x, and this is x. So this must be whatever is left over. So then part D is telling us, where is it? Find an expression for the area. The area is just length times width. We know the length is x, and we know the width is 100, oh, come on, 100 minus 2x. So then I just distribute my brackets. I end up with 100x minus 2x squared. So that's kind of nice. Although this is just this over here, isn't it? And then we're going to add this to it. So then in part E, it tells us that the area has to be, oh, look at this number, 1218. So this has to equal 1218 is what they're telling us. So all I have to do is use my original thing. And I've already done that. I've already solved for it, right? Whoops, didn't mean that. So I've already got my x values. So if I want that pen to be exactly 1218 square meters, the area, so I want to know the possible dimensions of x. Well, if this is the length, right, the width is either that or that. So I've got 21 meters by, let's call this E. So I've got 21 meters by 100 minus 2 times 21, and that gives us 58. And the other one is 29 by 100 minus 2 times 29, and that gives us 42. So if you do both of these equations, you'll find that they both equal, 1218, which is exactly what we were asked for. These are the two values of x, and then these are the other leftover lengths if we say that 100 minus 2x is this. So hopefully that gives you question 7.